Hello, my name is Nathan Peterson. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. Today, I wanted to talk about something that is called scrupulosity. So before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel below. I'm posting videos weekly on different mental health issues such as OCD, anxiety, depression, and so forth. So scrupulosity, have you ever heard of this before? This is a subset of OCD that many people struggle with. Scrupulosity is also known as religious OCD. This dates back all the way to the 1600s. It was noticed that monks would excessively be praying. In reality, they were trying to achieve an unrealistic goal or state of holiness. This is where the term scrupulosity began. Scrupulosity means that you are excessively preoccupied with making sure you do the right thing. This can be either religiously, morally, or even ethically. Some common obsessions that I see are the worry or the perceived threat that somebody is sinning, that God is disappointed in them. They also might fear that they are doing something that goes against their moral or ethic value system. Sometimes they might constantly worry if they are praying enough or even if they're praying the right way. They may have excessive concern over purity, going to hell, death, or even loss of impulse control, meaning they're worried they might do something. The intrusive thought in their head says, hey, you might do this thing that is incorrect according to your morals, but you had the thought. So what's going to keep you from doing that? So just like any type of OCD, there are compulsions that are done. It makes them believe that if they do these compulsions, they're going to feel relief. They're going to feel better about the obsession that they had. Some of these common compulsions are as follows. Excessive trips to confess. They might go to a leader of some kind, whether it is a pastor, a bishop, even a parent, to ask them, hey, I had this intrusive thought. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if I'm worthy, if I'm not. But if you tell me I am, I'm going to feel a lot better about that. But guess what happens? They go in there, they ask for that reassurance. Their religious leader says, you know what, you are good, don't worry about it. And they leave. They feel great. But for how long? For a few minutes usually, sometimes a few hours, sometimes a few days. But then their brain starts doubting. Hey, I told them this thing, I confessed this to them, but did I really say it the right way? Did I say it in a manner where they actually understood what I was saying? Did I give them every detail? I don't remember every single detail. Did I actually say everything I needed to say? Their brain starts doubting, they start questioning. I looked at their facial expression when they told me that I was forgiven, but they kind of looked disappointed, so maybe they weren't really forgiving me. This is why they call OCD the doubting disease. It's gonna make you start doubting even the compulsions that you do. And guess where this leads the person? Right back to that religious leader's office to say, hey, just in case I had that thought again, I wanna make sure that I'm okay. What do you think? And it's not just the religious leaders, it can be parents, it could be coworkers, it could be friends. Sometimes people can be pretty sneaky in the way that they ask for this reassurance. Individuals may go overboard in acts of service for other people. Yes, it's great to do service for others, but they may feel that if they are not doing enough, that God may be disappointed in them, that maybe they're not fulfilling their goal in life, what they need to be doing. So they are giving to others more than they are giving to themselves, which can lead them to feel exhausted, tired, anxious. What I find is that that person can serve somebody else as much as they want, but they still feel like maybe they didn't do enough. Some people even might avoid church, which seems the opposite, right? But guess what? If you go to church, I find that intrusive thoughts come. You know, they're already thinking, hey, I'm at church, I shouldn't have this thought here, but guess what happens? Because I'm hoping I don't get a thought, that intrusive thought is likely to come. So if I have this thought at church, what do you think that means? So if I avoid this altogether, sometimes that makes the person feel that temporary relief, but gets them stuck in that cycle of OCD. Some mental compulsions that I see, people might excessively pray. They want to make sure they're praying the right way. And what I mean is somebody might sit there and they pray sometimes for hours. They could pray for a few minutes. They could pray for a half a second. A prayer could be, thank you, sorry. It could be reciting a scripture. It could be reciting a song. It could be a mental picture in their head that they feel they need to have to make sure that they're a good person. They might have excessive reflection of themselves. They're checking themselves constantly, making sure they're okay, making sure they're doing the right thing. Are you sure you did everything in that moment to make sure that other person was okay? Are you sure that intrusive thought you had was normal? Are you sure you're a good person? Are you sure you're okay? Sometimes people might make pacts with God, meaning they might pray to God and they say, please, if you can help me not have these intrusive thoughts today, I'll make sure I do everything I can for you. I make sure that I'm going to serve other people that I give everything that I have to others. They're desperate, and I don't blame them. I would be too. They're seeking for that relief. So some things to know. Is scrupulosity more prevalent in one religion than another? What we find is that scrupulosity can affect any religion. Even if somebody doesn't believe in a higher power, they still can be excessively concerned about doing the right thing, about being truthful, about being honest. So what causes scrupulosity? The exact cause at this point is unknown. The things we do know is that OCD tends to be genetic. A lot of the time you can find individuals down the line who have had OCD of some kind. It doesn't even have to be scrupulosity. Also, environmental factors can play a part as well. What we know is OCD likes to attack what the person values the most. So if somebody values religion, values being a good person, what do you think their OCD is going to attach to? It's going to make them start questioning and doubting themselves. So let me give you some examples of scrupulosity. Somebody might have an intrusive thought about Jesus fist bumping someone else. And they say, whoa, that must be a pretty blasphemous thought. I need to make sure I pray and say, I didn't mean that thought. Or they may go seek a religious leader at that point and say, you know what, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I keep having this thought. Thoughts about God or Jesus, thoughts about a higher power can be sometimes pretty extreme. You can have an intrusive thought that says, God is not real. And that person has to say, no, I didn't mean it. I promise it's just a thought. It's not real. Please forgive me. Another example might be someone who works. They might be at their job and they come home at the end of the day and they check their pocket and they're like, oh, I have a pen. This pen belongs at work. I can't believe I just stole. Uh-oh, I just broke a commandment. So they may go back and make sure that pen goes back in the exact same spot as a compulsion. Or they might ask somebody, do you think it's okay that I took that pen from work? Did I really mean to take that pen? Maybe I'm a bad person because I took that pen. Maybe I won't get into heaven now because I took that pen. Even if I put it back, I can't believe your intentions were to take that pen. Another example might be someone says, hey, I'm gonna be home at 3:30 today. And come to find out they actually come home at 3:31. That person says, oh no, I just lied. I just deceived that person. I knew I was gonna come home at 3:31. I just deceived them. I can't believe that I'm such a liar. That other person is disappointed in me, and even more, God's disappointed in me. My integrity is now at stake. Another example might be someone has been instructed to not drink alcohol, and they happen to be at this work event where everyone is drinking but them. Their brain might say, I wonder if I ingested some alcohol. I shook that person's hand. I was talking really close to that person. I could smell the alcohol. I wonder if I just broke a value that I have. I wonder if I need to go repent. I wonder if I need to go tell my religious leader that, hey, I don't know if I drank alcohol or not. What do you think? So what do you think the treatment is for scrupulosity? If you watched my other videos, you probably already know. But the treatment is exposure and response prevention. What this means is we're going to help you live a little bit more uncertain about the perceived threat or fear. You might get put in situations that make you believe that you are possibly a bad person, that you're possibly deceiving somebody, that you're possibly going to hell. We might be taking some extra pens from work. We might be drawing pictures of Jesus fist pumping someone else. But most importantly, we need to figure out all the avoidance strategies that you've come up with, and we've got to start reducing those. We've got to start risking that if you don't do those, we don't know what's going to happen. You think about it, any religion in this world is faith-based. The whole definition of faith is something that we believe that we can't see just yet. So why are we trying to gain certainty on something that needs to be faith-based? I will be creating a whole separate video on just a specific treatment for scrupulosity. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so you don't miss out on that. Also, do you have scrupulosity? Do you know someone who has it? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know any questions that you have. I will answer them in the comments for you. And make sure you send this video to those who you feel like it could be helpful to. Thank you so much for watching. I don't remember if they say, not really. Then you kind of got your, not putting that in there. Are you sure you did everything you needed to?